Hey, Bri.
Hey.
You're like Clark Kent and Superman when you turn around from the screen and you stare at me and you got your glasses on. You're like, okay, Clark Kent, you're ready to go.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
Clark Kent, that's me. Superman.
Yeah.
with
So how
what
do you
we
feel,
did.
Superman, after this weekend?
I'm feeling surprisingly okay. But it was a lot of fun. We did that Savage race.
Yes, we did.
And, did you do any research on, I don't know, I did research on the ice bath.
Yeah, you do a lot of research on stuff.
Well, here's the thing.
Did not.
Well, I was wondering. I was like, hey, man, maybe there's a reason why. Because when we started this race, the thing was, and we've been dealing with this, we've been prepping, not even prepping. That's the whole point.
That's the problem. We didn't prep for shit.
No. I'd been doing a little bit of a regular kind of a workout, but I didn't do any sort of cardio or jogging or anything like that. But
And
I figured
was doing
I'd be
a little
okay.
bit of cardio. I was
Yeah.
until I got injured a couple of weeks before, and I was just like, all right, let me just rest up for this race.
Right, and then and again, it was just a let's finish thing, and we didn't have to really go fast, so I wasn't really worried so much about that. But in the very beginning, the first obstacle was actually before the race started.
Before the starting line.
Right, it was before the starting line. So
Yep.
it's like, oh, what are they doing over there? Oh, there's an ice bath. You're gonna jump in this big trough of ice water,
It
and
was
it's
a
like
dumpster. It was like a sideways dumpster.
yeah, and it was not like just ice on the top. Like it
No,
felt like it was
like a
ice,
slushy.
it was a slushy. So
was
it was ice all the
definitely
way
ice.
through. It was
All the
like
way.
so you go, oh wow, this is something. Okay, shit. I guess this is how we're gonna start. And I had never done an ice bath before.
Never.
So I'm like, all right.
I did the ice bucket challenge like everybody else, and that's 2 seconds dumped on top of you. That's not submerging yourself in ice and then going underwater so you can actually get to the other side of the pool because there was a wall halfway through the dumpster.
Yeah. So this is a long way of saying, well, whatever. I get out, and this is just, I'm like, okay, this is crazy, but okay. And I don't know how you felt, but
I had ice in my pockets.
yeah, I mean,
I
there's
jumped out
ice
and I'm like,
everywhere.
there's ice in my pockets. And I'm
Yeah.
like, that is shockingly like, okay, it's going to wake you up. No, it was bone chilling.
Oh yeah, it certainly woke me up though. Like after about 20 seconds of being out, I was jumping around. My whole body was tingling pretty hardcore, like I'd
Yes.
never been before. And guy pumps you up for about a minute or two. Like, are you ready? Are you going to do this? We're
Bouncing
have
in
have
place to
fun.
try and get the warmth
Yeah.
back in you and the circulation going.
But the problem with at least my issue was I started to jog after they let us start. And within like less than 20 seconds or something, my knee was hurting. And I don't have a knee that hurts like this unless I had done something wrong. Like the last and only time it hurt like this was when I did a move with you and I wasn't used to all the walking. And by the 3/4 of the day through the day, back and forth to the truck and upstairs and lifting stuff, and I wasn't used to it at all, even though you might have considered it was an easy day. My knee was kind of fucked. So I was like, this happened right away. And apparently, when you do an ice bath, it's horrible for your joints, and whatever fluid you have between your knees gets all super thick, and you go, oh, okay. So it's a fuck you before you run for
You're
your
right.
body.
I also think it might be our age that makes it
No.
even worse.
It does, I'm sure, but listen to me. It's not supposed to be good for anyone.
Yeah.
It happened to affect me more because of my age, but it's particularly bad for your joints, is what I'm saying. So it made sense to me.
Yeah.
Now I went, okay, at least now I know why it hurts so much.
So I was very, very underestimating the fact that, okay, I believe I have pretty good cardio and endurance, but I am not in any kind of pretend. This was delusional. I'm not in any kind of CrossFit shape. I'm not in any kind of, oh yeah, let's do all this 6 miles of, I did not run.
Well,
I
first of all,
jogged a little bit at the beginning, and then I said, you know what? No, especially since the third obstacle was a short wall. It wasn't even that tall. It was maybe 5 feet, 5.5 feet.
Yeah.
Where you jump up and you whatever. And I thought I was, in high school again. And I just went to flip over it and caught 2 ribs, just the middle section of my ribs, caught 2 ribs on the top 2x4 as I flipped. And I just heard a little pop type of thing. And I was like, oh, great. And that was at the beginning of the race. And I was like, okay. And then I kept going. I mean, we both finished. But it definitely affected me to say, wow, I can't be stupid like that. What I wasn't really aware of was the fact that we were going through, I was in cross country in high school. The pads are smooth. They're trampled
No,
down.
I wasn't
This
expecting
was
that.
terrain.
Serious.
This was
like a lot
rocks and sticks and twigs and mud, and they purposely put the mud in. They whatever
yeah,
they did,
wet
pumped in
a
water
lot of areas.
out,
Yeah.
out of streams and jumping through creeks with rocks, and then crawling through that long run where we were crawling under the barbed wire.
Yeah,
through the
with
mud was like
weight.
a foot and a half of mud.
Oh,
like
that.
muddy
Yeah,
water.
yeah.
So you're down, your head's above water, but you have to go sideways because the barbed wire is only about a foot and a half above. So you're crawling sideways to get over there. That was a long way. And then carrying rucksacks through the woods for like what seemed like a half a mile, which is probably like a quarter of a mile. But it was a while. It was a while
Yeah,
carrying that stuff through the woods.
There was it was what
And up and down ropes and slides. It was a lot of fun,
there
believe it
was
or not.
fun.
It was fun. And it felt good that we finished it.
I had fun at the at the obstacles. It was good. I just really had an issue with my one knee the whole time, and both my knees probably after the second half, because it just wasn't recovering, because I was trying to like compensate for my knees hurting, and now I'm doing extra stuff with my hips and extra stuff with whatever, and the next thing you know, my fucking hips are sore, and I was just trying to get from obstacle to obstacle.
Right.
And when you were doing the in between stuff, at best, even if I wasn't hurting, I would have only been able to jog, not even fast, through that mud and rocks, whatever, because you worry that you're going to break your fucking neck.
I'll be honest with
ankle.
you. That was the surprising part. Even if I was jogging, I would have gotten hurt.
Yeah, you fell.
Because I fell because my foot got caught between a rock and a twig, and I just went down. I was like, okay. And I had brand new shoes on, and I tied them so tight.
They were brand new.
I've never worn them.
I didn't know that you never worn them.
And I had them. They were in my shoe collection. I just took them out and said, okay, these are good. They got good traction on them. They're good. So they were Reebok Zig-Tex, the old school with the spaces in them. So this is going to be good for like going through the the woods, and this is going to be good for climbing obstacles. Yeah, they were too good. The cargo net, they were getting caught in my shoes. I couldn't pull my shoes
that'd be
out.
awful for that.
And the twigs were getting caught. Like when I was jumping and running, they were getting caught. There was like a spider web of yarn. I kept stepping over. They were getting caught in that. I was like, oh, this is not good. This is not good. And I think Tommy and Siobhan both had like slick shoes on, and they were like,
they did, which is another
which is surprising.
awful thing.
I couldn't believe it. Whatever, because I would have slipped on every rock.
Yeah.
But the truth is that going through the woods, I was more like kind of leaping here and there, like stretching my stride more than I was trying to do anything, because my shoe kept twisting my own foot in there, and I was like, okay. And only one foot, so I don't know if it was those shoes or whatever. I felt okay at the end, but then the next day, I did not feel okay. And between the ribs and every other leg muscle that I haven't used, between climbing with the ropes and then...
You felt okay you felt okay that like after the race? I thought we were all sore. No, maybe it was mostly me.
After we sat down for dinner, which was
you were
later,
good. Yeah,
I was
you were.
okay.
Yeah.
But then after we sat down for dinner and we went, and then when we got back that night, late that night, and the next morning, oof. And I drove back in my car, which is a sedan, so it's low. When I got I tell everybody, when I got out of the gas station to fuel up, which was, my car could hold like almost 450 miles worth of gas. So I got out of the gas station like 4.5 hours later. I thought I needed a walker. I felt like I was 95 years old. I was so stiff. I was like, oh my God, these leg muscles have never been used like this before since, in 20-something years at least.
Right.
It was wild, but it was fun.
Yeah. I
would definitely consider doing another one. I probably would. I definitely would do some training. I definitely would do some upper body stuff, because I couldn't, especially after my ribs, I couldn't hang on anything. I was having trouble hanging. The other things, pulling stuff and doing other stuff and pulling on ropes and climbing stuff and crawling through the mud and stuff, that was okay. It was just the obstacles that were rough were like any kind of rings or monkey bars. That was brutal.
I would do upper body for sure, training specifically and running or jogging very regularly.
But now we know it was fun.
Yeah, I wouldn't do an ice bath again though. I would do it.
You would skip it?
I would skip it, because if I knew it was going to affect my knees like that, I wouldn't do that in the beginning. I would be happy to do it, but I'd be like, let me do it last. It's like, and it really makes sense for helping your at least your muscles. It's
At
not
the
good for
end?
your joints, but
What happens if you jump in at the end and you cramp up, and now you're in that ice bath and nobody's helping you out?
Well, I mean, I
it
had
made you get
somebody
out of
to
that
help
ice
me
bath
out.
quick. As soon as you went under that
Yeah.
wall, I got out real quick.
I did. No.
I felt young at that point because I jumped out of that ice bath.
I just it didn't work well for me. At least I'm blaming that in my own head.
It was a lot of fun. We were with Tommy and Siobhan.
Yes.
Apparently they're experts at this. They
No, they were
do this
great.
type of stuff every year. They were jogging ahead of us, and then they slowed down and waited for us.
They were
At
waiting
every
for us. Very
point, they were waiting for
encouraging.
us.
Tom was very encouraging.
Mikey
they were all
didn't show because he couldn't get off of work. He probably would have blown us away anyway because he's apparently a runner.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, he would have been able to do everything, no problem.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Mike's in really good shape. At least cardio and leg wise for running.
Right.
I don't know what kind of upper body strength he has, but
Yeah, but definitely. But I would try another one. I'd see where the next one
I'll
is.
do another one I will
I'd see where
definitely
it
do
is.
another one. I might. I mean, and it will probably be. I mean, I'd like to do a different place. And I would not they're like, oh, the little ones are only 3 miles. Like when I hit the 3 mile mark, I was like, oh, it wouldn't have been bad if it was done when we hit the 3 mile mark in the thing because, well, I mean, but I was also like right away hurting. So, the whole time. And I was really glad they didn't show the mile 4 or 5.
They didn't show you anything. After you saw
there
the
wasn't
3 mile,
anything. So I thought
I didn't see anything
I thought
else
we were
until all of a
still-
sudden. I actually, when we came up to the last 3 obstacles, which were, what were the last 3? Oh, the ramp wall,
Big ramp wall.
and then you run up a ramp wall like on Ninja Warrior,
But
and
they
then at
have
the
a
top
rope,
of it, but on the top of that Ninja Warrior, there's nothing there.
They didn't have
and you
anything
grab-
before. They added the rope and the ladder to make
And they
it
added a
easier
rope.
for
Then you
us.
pull up on the rope a little bit. Then you transfer over to a ladder. You can stay on the rope, but it's hard. Then you transfer to the ladder because basically at that point it's vertical.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you get up to the top of there. Then you go another about 7 or 8 feet. You go up,
the slide, right?
You go up to another platform, and then
Yeah.
you go to the slide. And they were making me nervous at the slide because I'll be honest with you, I felt like I was back at Action Park where there were no real rules.
No,
'Cause
you
they were
don't like
sending
heights
people-
though either. And we
I'm
should
not-
have stayed together because you went after us, and that was the more dangerous way to go.
I went right after you, but I
But
stayed
that's
to the
not
right.
good.
No,
Okay,
because
but-
I was watching everybody else,
But why
and they were
wouldn't
hitting each other.
Okay, but why wouldn't you try to stay to the right and go down at the same time? Because if you couldn't stay to the right, you would have gone right on top of me.
Oh,
if you weren't able to
I
control
literally
yourself.
launched myself to the right
Well,
intentionally,
next
and I
time-
flew because I cleared everybody. I didn't hit anybody. I thought you and Tommy bumped into each other.
I
or
didn't
you-
hit anybody.
Okay,
I hit,
I
I
thought
hit
Tommy
the
and Siobhan
bottom
or
of the
something.
whatever. But
Yeah,
but you
and
don't like
launched.
heights.
I'm not particularly
You don't
thrilled
like
with
heights.
heights.
I heard
but that's
about-
the funny thing. The truth of the matter is, I don't like heights at all. But I framed 3 or 4 story houses by myself when I did it up on the ridge, walking
Yeah.
the ridge, walking roofs,
you
because
don't-
that's a paycheck. I was doing it. I just didn't want to be up there waiting, and they were stacking people in. I let the other groups go. I'm like,
Well,
why are
it's
you sending
different,
4 or
though.
5 people in there? Because these people are maniacs, and they're and when you go down that slide, you spin.
It's different though when you're 4 stories up and working because your goal is to stay up there.
Yes. Yeah.
Your goal isn't to leap off the edge.
No.
So that's where the big difference is. I never like being up there either, but it is different to be up there and go, okay, my job is to not fall as opposed to let myself go.
Right, because I used to have to
And
walk
not
walls.
be in control.
That's
Right.
how I learned. I learned how to frame with this in Limbrook, not Limbrook. I'm sorry. I learned how to frame in Oceanside with this group that was framing apartment complexes off this old camp that was in Oceanside called Camp de Baume, and they sold all these properties.
worked there.
And I just walked. I walked onto the job site and said, "Hey, I'm looking for work." And these guys were framing, and they taught me how to walk walls. And it's crazy. The old school way. OSHA would never let you do any of this shit now, but the old school way when you just climb up the ladder on a 2x4 and you stand up on top of the wall, and there's another guy 12 feet away, and you're carrying a 14-foot 2x12 or 2x10 to make a floor joist, and you have one on each end, and you just walk it out, both of you. You could pull that guy off or pull that guy on. They're like, "Don't pull me." Okay. They taught me real quick. They had control of me. Just stand up and walk. And I learned how to frame, and I learned how to walk walls real quick.
Okay.
And we did 3-story. We did 3-story apartments with the roof being the 4th story, and that was how I learned framing a long, long time ago. I was probably 17 years old.
Mm-hmm.
But that was a lot of fun. I want to do another Savage race or another type of race like that. I will definitely be more prepared. I think we got lucky. The weather was perfect.
Yeah.
It wasn't too hot. It was cool in the morning. We went off at 11. We did it pretty quickly.
It
We
was-
went off
yeah,
at
it
like
was
11,
75,
11:15.
11 o'clock, we were done by 1, right? It was 2
It
hours.
was like 1:15 to 2. So we did 6 miles and all those obstacles in 2 hours. That was pretty good. But we were one of the last heats anyway.
We were slow, but it
No,
was
but that was pretty
fine.
good for us. Listen,
mean, yeah, we
I
finished
honestly expected to be the last group finishing and them like gathering the ropes and everything behind us
Right.
and saying, all right, guys, come on, let's go, let's go. We passed some people. We did what we had to do. You know, it was okay.
I didn't notice.
We passed some people on some of the obstacles. When we came out of the woods and got to the obstacles, people were dilly-dallying and trying to like figure out how to. I'm like, let's just go. Let's just go. We were especially the last one when they're like, who's going to go? I just ran because I'm like, if I don't run now and I watch people fail, I'm going to fail. So let me just run and try and dive at that rope and go, you know, the Tarzan swing to the little wall and stuff like that. It was fun.
Yeah, good.
But-
So the race was good.
The race was good. I wanted to talk to you about something that you had mentioned that you saw and I saw, but Tommy didn't. And the expectations of this was like, oh, this is going to be stupid or this is going to be whatever. I saw Happy Gilmore 2. You saw Happy Gilmore 2.
Yeah.
A lot of people, it's been out for a couple weeks. I'm not going to ruin anything by saying anything that goes on, but the truth of the matter is, what do you expect out of a Happy Gilmore movie? This was, to me, a good movie because it was Happy Gilmore extended. It was a little outrageous.
It was
a little...
a lot more outrageous than the first Happy Gilmore.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, I don't know.
What was really outrageous about and maybe it's been so long since I've seen the first one, but the first one, what was kind of outrageous was the guy that was teaching him had like a wooden hand, which was silly. This guy himself, Happy Gilmore,
And
had
then-
this crazy swing.
And then Chubb
Right.
died because he caught the alligator and showed it to him. He died.
Chubb died with the alligator. Okay, I don't wait. So how did he
He
die
didn't get
from the
eaten.
alligator?
He
He
died
got his hand
because
taken from the
he had
alligator.
his hand
That's
taken from
what
the alligator,
happened,
but
yeah.
in the movie he died. In the first movie, Happy Gilmore, he died.
Okay.
Because Happy Gilmore went and got the alligator and killed it and had the head. Don't
Oh
you
yeah,
remember?
yeah. He did. Didn't
And then
he? Had like
shocked
some sort
Chubb,
of
and Chubb died. And it was
Okay.
just, and the crowd was, you know, hey,
the crowd being silly. I mean, I guess it was that to like
Shooter
what they-
McGavin hitting off Frankenstein's foot, the whole 9 yards. You know,
you
trying
know
to
what?
do it was a very outrageous movie the first time, and it
I
just
don't
kept
think
going.
it was. I don't think it was that outrageous. But we can agree to disagree. I thought that the first one was much better. I liked the second one, even though it was wacky. But if I had to rate the first one versus the second one, I would give the first one, 3 out of 4 stars, where I'd give this one 2 out of 4.
Okay, are you an Adam Sandler fan?
Yes.
In a lot of things, or just some? Because a lot of people turned on Adam Sandler after his
No.
last 5 or 6
I mean,
movies.
no, he's gonna have shitty. I like him overall. And there will be movies that I really like, and there'll be movies that I don't. I like him in serious stuff, but I obviously like him more in comedy. And
I think that's what turned a lot of people off. He's been in a lot of movies recently that were not these super comedies, that were hits.
lot?
Uncut Gems.
I know
There was
Yeah,
one
well,
about
that
a
was hit.
basketball coach.
Yeah.
Right. But what I'm saying is they weren't these comedy roles. I don't think they expected like, why
everyone-
were they looking at Happy Gilmore?
Well,
it's like if Ace Ventura 4 comes out, do they expect that to be more like,
no, who's gonna expect that? I think the people who have really big issues with it have similar issues with it that I do. But I still laughed out loud a lot.
right.
I genuinely enjoyed this movie. When it comes down to the writing of it or like how they would lay it out in certain things, I would have taken 3/4 of the lines away from the professional golfers. I would have had them be a smaller part of it. There might have been great, like you said, the guy being in jail. I know, forgetting his name, but fucking
Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah, I know.
Number one golfer in the world, yeah.
I know why it's funny. I know his faces. I'm a face guy. I can watch 3 movies with a famous actor and never know his name. So I don't
Right.
give a flying fuck, really. But that's okay. That's a funny joke. But almost everything else to me was cringy. And so it didn't add to it. It was him hanging out with golfers because they were massive fans of the movie because it was iconic. And he probably loves to hang out with golfers. So a lot of that could have just went bye-bye to me. And, and then the other stuff was a little bit wacky.
The kids.
You mean the kids? You
loved
mean
his
like
kids.
the surgery stuff? What do
No,
you mean?
I, no,
the kids,
I loved
man.
his kids.
The kids were great.
Yeah,
Man,
yeah.
I loved his sons. I thought that his daughter, very small little part, but she was obviously important to the story. That was all good. You know, the meetings thing was even fine too. You know, like with Ben Stiller.
Yeah.
Like that was good.
Yeah,
There was other kind of bigger things, and really probably the biggest thing that I didn't like
Was the golfers.
was the freaking golfers. Be a very small part in this, you know, very small. It was more of a, you know, hand job to the golf association.
But this was a cameo movie. You're right.
But
this is
that's
a cameo
not
movie.
what freaking anything was in the first one. That's just because they redid Beetlejuice, and that it was a piece of shit with cameos and all this other stuff in there. I still enjoyed some of it. Okay. Happy Gilmore doesn't need to do that.
Fine. So, this is where we are.
Okay.
You give that a 2.
Well, yeah, 2 out of 4.
Out of
That's
4.
not bad.
Okay,
I mean, what
it's
are you
like a
gonna
5 out of 10.
I mean,
or a 50 out of 100.
I mean, it's not,
I get it. Like
it's
Rotten
not
Tomatoes.
horrible.
No,
but
right.
whatever.
Okay, so you're a 2 out of 4 with that. What do you expect out of this movie, Naked Gun? That what the hell is that?
I expect it. I hope. I will be happy if it's a 2 because again, and maybe it's a 2.5 Happy Gilmore.
It looks like a 1.
No,
It
I'm
looks
not
like
talking
a
about
half.
that.
Right.
But Naked Gun, this one, from what I understand, is getting good reviews. I have not heard anything except for a couple of people who I know. You know, that was like, hey, this is getting good reviews. Isn't that interesting? You know, it's like just expecting it because the trailer looks shit.
The trailer looks like everything they put in the trailer wants you not to go see the movie.
Right. So
it's that terrible to me of a trailer.
And Liam Neeson, I just was watching this earlier on. He's such a great actor.
He is.
And he can do comedy because one of the funniest things, if you've never seen it, is him talking with Ricky Gervais. And I forget the show that it was, but it was Ricky Gervais and the Warwick Dunn, or not Warwick Dunn. That's a football player, right?
Yeah.
But the little guy, little actor, and then one other person, the big glasses, was across from him, Liam Neeson, and he was doing a scene of like he wanted to do comedy. And it's this kind of. Have you ever seen this with Ricky Gervais?
No.
Okay, it's hysterical.
I'll
Like
look
I
it up
started to
after
watch
this,
it
yes.
today because he's so dry and he nails it. It's just like it's hysterical. But nothing looks good about the movie.
Nothing looks good about the movie.
So
and to try and recreate Leslie Nielsen to me is an impossibility, no matter what you do.
Good though that maybe somehow because I'm gonna watch it.
I think it's fixed. I think the ratings are fixed on that one. If that's a good movie, I'll watch it. But
What is it called? It's
The Naked Gun.
It's just called The Naked Gun. There's no
think
number
so.
to it.
No, because they redid.
The Naked Gun latest reviews.
I mean, it looks so dated. Even the humor looks dated.
Well, the humor doesn't have to be. What do you mean? Like the humor is. It's got 7 out of 10 IMDb and 89% Rotten Tomatoes, 75% Fandango. I have seen lower ratings on movies that I have genuinely enjoyed because obviously you can't trust this shit. You never really know. But I've also seen ratings that were very justified. When you see like that movie was horrible, I watched it. It's got 25% Rotten Tomatoes for a reason,
Right.
or
right.
50. So I'm gonna go into it obviously with very low expectations, which always ends up making the thing better than
You're
it is.
absolutely right. You're
Always.
absolutely right. The lower the expectations, the better chance
Right.
it has.
Happy Gilmore, my issue with that too, I might have went in there with a little bit higher expectations, and the golfers fucking ruined it for
I went
me.
in with none.
Right. See,
So
I didn't go in with
That's
none.
why
So you
I was
were-
okay with it. I went in with no expectation. I was like, okay. Plus, it's a straight to Netflix movie. It wasn't even put out. What I mean
A
is
lot of
they
them
put,
are, though.
No, I know, but actually, almost all of Adam Sandler's
And-
movies are that he does.
and-
That is from his Happy Madison or whatever it's called.
Right. And Netflix generally is like they don't release to theaters, I don't think.
No.
So, but other
Well, that's what
platforms
Sandler's
do.
got a contract with them.
Yeah.
But that's why I say all the money that I have not been able to get away from Naked Gun trailers. They're everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I guess it's making money. I don't know. It's number one, whatever. I mean,
Is it number
technically
one?
I don't know. It's an end of the summer movie. I watched that Minecraft movie, Wishing for Jack Black. that didn't turn out to.
No, I didn't really think about that much. I wasn't really a fan. But, Liam Neeson, or at least the rumors are, and they, I think it's pretty obvious from some pictures and holding hands or whatever, Liam Neeson and her.
Pam Anderson?
Yeah.
Oh, big money, big star. Pam, I don't know, kind of at the end, maybe. Who knows?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, she seems cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
According to everybody else, she seems cool.
Yeah, but I would see the movie that she did about apparently it got good reviews. She got good reviews. She's playing like some Las Vegas dancer that's like getting
I saw
booted
part
out,
of it.
doing that.
I mean, like I said, if it's your bag, it wasn't
for you.
She didn't really. She tried so hard to be a washed-up person that was too old to. Yeah, she was like past her prime as a Vegas dancer,
Right. So she didn't
like
she
a showgirl or
overacted?
something.
Yeah.
But she tends to. That's just her. So the expectation was exactly what I expected out of it, and I expected it not to be that great because she's been in a lot of TV shows and everything, and you watch it for her. And you hope that she puts out something decent. That was
a movie, though, right? I think
that
that's
was
why
a movie.
Maybe that was
a movie. So you were hoping you thought it was going to be something else.
Yeah, and that's
She did a better job probably than people expected it
It's a
from
serious role,
Baywatch and
too.
from that other show that she had.
Yeah.
But the truth, or Paradise, I think there was a something Paradise show.
Well, it was a serious role.
Yeah, it was a serious role.
She doesn't do serious roles.
Yeah, it didn't come off like it was made for her. Let's just say.
Gotcha, but at
She's
least
not Marilyn Monroe.
At least
I think that was the attempt, the bombshell that was going to be like a good actress.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's kind of how it. And
I don't know if Marilyn was ever really. Maybe she was, or maybe she just had chemistry with people, and it showed well on the camera. And she happened to be beautiful.
And she died young, so who knows what her career could have been, maybe. But she did a lot of movies, and she was well known for being some kind of decent actress.
Yeah, and she was, I'm pretty sure, killed by our government. That's what I would think. I'm a conspiracy guy.
Okay,
though.
Conspiracy Brian.
Hey,
here he
listen,
is.
I would say that that would be one of the few things that you'd go, it kind of makes sense. I mean, if she was sleeping with Bobby and John Kennedy, if she was sleeping with them both, and then wanted to talk.
Did Ted do it? Is that what it was? Because he was jealous that he didn't get anything?
And wanted to talk.
Mm-hmm.
You think that would be good for anybody?
You
think that would do well, and then all of a sudden, she OD'd.
That's a lot of ifs and this and everything.
I know, but listen.
But there's 7,000 Hollywood people that OD and drink
I know,
too much
but
and do stupid stuff.
How many of those Hollywood people sleep with both the president of the United States and the brother, who's a high-ranking political official, and she wants to go, hey, I'm going to talk to people and let them know that this is happening.
I don't know, but that was a hell of a Marilyn Monroe
I
you
know.
just pulled off there. I will say something that I finished. I saw it and I finished it this weekend.
What?
I watched the Billy Joel documentary.
You watched the 2 parts.
Both parts.
I'm still haven't finished the first.
I didn't know a lot of it, and people, I guess, who are fans of Billy Joel know a lot of the background stuff. I'm a fan of Billy Joel as just like a passing fan. I've always admired his talent, and the music was there, but I was never that deep into how long his career was, how long he suffered before he actually made it, and then all the drama and everything in his life and the difficulties and everything, and then to come out and then later on, and all that stuff happened when I was younger in my lifetime, and he was 30 minutes away from most of Oyster Bay, he was there, he was up on the North Shore.
Yeah,
he grew up 3 or 4 towns from where we grew up.
Yeah.
And he was an older guy, but he played around.
And he was known as, listen, you almost immediately had to respect him too. So most people respected him or liked him just because he was a Long Island guy. So you're happy that he's so successful.
Yeah, except the critics. Yeah.
Yeah,
that was it. Eventually, but it was pretty amazing. And all the people that came in on the documentary were good. I would definitely say that's definitely one of those worth the watches things. I mean, if you don't know anything about him, just watch it because it's worth getting, and you get hooked. You get hooked on watching this whole thing.
Yeah, I've always been a big fan of his music, or at least since I was probably a young teen.
Well, that was our cousin Nancy Ann's favorite. That's why I really started listening to a lot of his albums.
Might have been
because Nancy Ann's favorite artist of all time, way back when, like before.
Really, was Billy Joel?
Billy Joel.
I don't remember
100%.
that. I wonder how and I was trying to think too. I wish I would have paid more attention or had some sort of whatever. But I saw Billy Joel and Elton John at concert at Giant Stadium, and it was fun. But don't think I appreciated it for what because in my head I was like, I'll probably see him again. That was like 20, That was in the 90s.
It's amazing, and it's amazing that he gave it up for a while.
I didn't know
And
he
then
gave
came
it up.
back
Oh, yeah,
and had a residency at Madison Square Garden after that for
Yeah.
like over 10 years.
he had it for yeah. 'Cause
And it's like, okay, what? Like, okay, Nick game. There's nothing going on for these 3 days. Billy Joel play, come back. Okay, this, that, like, that's pretty wild. And now it's over. And I should have watched him, but it was pretty good. But I'm watching a lot of stuff now. I'm trying to catch up on all these other shows. But the truth of the matter is, I'm overwhelmed with the amount of stuff that's going on right now because it's preseason football and we're going to start gearing up into it and we're going to start thinking about betting and we're going to start thinking about all this other stuff. And they already had the Hall of Fame game and I'm worried about all my teams and all the players. I just got to try and get some knowledge. We're going to do a pool this year. We're going to pull in Tommy, probably Siobhan.
Yeah, I mean,
see if we can get Robert, okay?
Yeah.
See who we can get in this pool. And then, I don't know, we may do a little bit, besides the betting, we may do a little bit of fantasy. We may do a little bit of something else to see if we can spice it up a little bit.
You know, well, I mean, wait. Besides the bet, but we're going to do a traditional old school pool,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're saying
A weekly
on
pool.
the side
On the side.
something with fantasy.
I used to be in like 5 different leagues
I
and all
know.
this other stuff, and pools and bet and weekly bets, along with college. Right now, I'm going to simplify it all. I'm going to do a pool with you on the NFL only. Okay, with you and Tommy, Siobhan, probably Robert. See if we get a couple, maybe Mike Schrack. Okay, then we see maybe we just join one of these website fantasy leagues, and there'll be other teams in it. But you'll have a team, I'll have a team. We see it by the end where we rank and see if we
Okay.
get somebody else in there, and then we will continue to bet.
Now,
And
the
we might skip the teasers and do the parlays this year instead. But we still got a little bit of cash in that account, so I think
We
we're gonna
do?
Try. Yeah, we do. I
I
talked
thought
to
it was
Robert.
out. You
I
said
talked to Robert, our agent,
and
and he said we got money.
okay, so
Yeah,
there's
we
still
got
a little
few.
bit. All right, so
We got a few.
all right,
We
no,
got a little bit, yeah.
I don't know what a few is. Literally $3 in there. Okay,
No.
So maybe we got
more.
50,
No,
150.
we got more. Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
All right, so that's nice because I didn't realize. I thought
No, so we can get away with the
even.
first few weeks of learning because I
Yeah.
usually don't bet heavy in the first couple of weeks because
No.
it's always a shit show. But we can learn a little bit about the league, see where teams are falling, see where new coaches and new players are meshing, and then we can start placing a little bit more bets probably week 3. But the first 2 weeks, you get an adjustment period, offenses and defenses, whatever. I'm looking at teams right now. I have no idea where they're going, especially the New York teams. Whew, there's a lot of contract disputes. Buffalo has a problem with their running back. He should sign. Dallas has some issues with Micah Parsons. There's things going on. The Vikings quarterback went to Seattle. Who knows how that's going to work?
What about the
Pete
Jets?
Carroll and your boy,
Oh yeah, Pete Carroll and
the quarterback,
yeah, you're talking about the one who we don't want
Geno
anymore.
Smith,
Oh, Geno. Oh, okay.
are now with the Raiders. Let's see how that works out. Because I do not particularly like the Raiders, but now I'm rooting for Pete Carroll and Geno Smith
Pete Carroll.
in Las Vegas.
Yeah, so
see what
what-
they do.
what was Pete
Stafford's
Carroll-
hurt. He's got back issues. I like the Rams. Who knows?
What was Pete Carroll doing last year?
Oh, he got let go from Seattle.
Right. So he got let go from Seattle, and
And then he wound up getting a job. Did he have the whole year off? Either way, he got let go from Seattle. Now he got signed with the Raiders, and Geno Smith came over
right over from Seattle.
from Seattle.
Right. So he coached him the year before last,
Yes.
and then had a new coach last year.
I think he had a new coach last year for part of the year.
Okay.
I don't know if it was
So
the beginning of the season. or
Pete
middle of the
Carroll's
season.
amazing.
Pete Carroll. And
Pete
how
Carroll's
old he
also-
is? How old he is compared to? Oh my gosh.
How old is he?
He's a lot older than you. He looks like a younger coach. He's been around coaching. Remember, he
How
was
old
a
is he,
Jet
though?
coach. He was in New England.
He was a Jet coach, but not a head coach, right?
Yes, he was.
How old was Pete Carroll? Is Pete Carroll? Okay, 73.
He's 73 years
You
old.
know, he looks like Mr. Brennan.
You know what? 100%
I know.
absolutely right.
Yeah.
Mr. Brennan, who I would have loved to see run that Savage race because he probably would have kicked my ass.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't. He's 80.
He's 80 years old.
Yeah,
And
he probably would.
This guy would have been able to climb. He would have been able
Yeah,
to swing
everything.
on stuff.
Everything.
He would have been able to go the ropes.
Yeah,
and
he would be hurting,
and he
but
would
he
have
would
just
be able to do it.
Yeah, and he would have laughed his ass off. Come on, you sons of bitch! Come on up here. Let's go. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
It was a fun weekend. I enjoyed having a weekend with you, Bri, in the Savage race.
Yeah, it was fun.
Not thinking a lot. Next time, I'm going to maybe take some painkillers before and after the race, and we'll see what happens. But we're going to do it again. We're gearing up for football, but everybody watch out. That's it.